Hey everyone, ready for another deep dive? Today we're taking a look at DeepSeek, this really cool AI tool featured in a YouTube video we found.
Ah, yes, DeepSeek. It's quite impressive.
It seems like it can help with so many things like mind maps, presentations, even video editing.
It really showcases the power of AI to help us be more productive, or actually getting things done instead of just talking about it.
Exactly. And the YouTuber really puts it through its paces,
Hmm.
showing us a ton of real-world examples of how they use it. So we're going to dive into those examples and see what we can learn.
Sounds good.
So the first example the YouTuber tackled was mind mapping. Imagine you're a grad student, like they were, staring at a blank page, trying to write a research paper on, let's say, second language acquisition.
Oh, I know that feeling all too well. Where do you even begin?
Right, it can be so overwhelming. But this is where DeepSeek comes in. The YouTuber gave it this incredibly detailed prompt, explaining they were a grad student, the research topic, even mentioning the deadline was Friday.
Talk about pressure.
And get this, they specifically asked for the outline in a format that was compatible with XMind, which is a mind mapping tool. I mean, how smart is that?
That is smart. They were really setting DeepSeek up for success by providing all that context. The student role, the topic, the deadline, the desired output format. It's like giving it a clear roadmap.
And it worked. DeepSeek created this amazing markdown outline that covered all the key points, from the research background to the methodology, all super organized and logical.
So they essentially had a ready-made framework for their paper just like that.
Pretty much. They just imported that outline into XMind and bam, a detailed mind map ready to go.
Think of all the time that could save you, not to mention the potential to overcome writer's block. It's like having a brainstorming partner and an outline generator all in one.
Absolutely. Okay, moving on to the next example. Let's say you're a university lecturer and you need to create a super engaging PowerPoint on Chinese culture for a group of international students.
Oh, presentations. They can be such a time suck, especially when you're trying to make them visually appealing and informative at the same time.
I know, right? But with DeepSeek, it doesn't have to be such a chore. The YouTuber gave DeepSeek a prompt, again being very specific about their role as a lecturer and outlining the topics they wanted to cover in the presentation. What do you think happened?
I'm guessing DeepSeek created a presentation outline for them?
You got it. And once again, it generated the outline in Markdown format so they can import it directly into Mindshow, a presentation software. Seamless workflow.
That seamless integration between different tools is really key. It's not just about DeepSeek doing its thing in isolation. It's about how it can actually enhance your existing workflow.
Totally. And get this, the YouTuber was super impressed with how good the AI-generated slides looked. They even said they were better than some of the standard PowerPoint templates.
Wow, so not only can it save you time, but it can actually elevate the quality of your work. Sign me up.
Right. Imagine being able to create presentations that are both informative and visually stunning without having to be a design whiz yourself.
It's like having a secret weapon for presentations.
Okay, so now buckle up because the YouTuber takes things to another level and throws a real curveball at DeepSeek. Video editing.
Oh, I see where this is going. Video editing can be a black hole of time and energy, even for experienced creators.
Exactly. So the YouTuber had a script for a mid-year summary video, and they wanted DeepSeek's help with all the things that make a video engaging: pacing, visuals, sound effects, even music.
So they essentially asked DeepSeek to be their virtual video editor.
Pretty much. And I'm not going to lie, what DeepSeek came up with blew me away.
Yeah.
It generated a detailed edit decision list, like an entire blueprint for the video, specific timings for each segment, suggested visuals and sound effects, even potential sources for stock footage and music.
That's incredible. Imagine being able to hand off those tedious technical aspects of editing to AI and then focusing on the creative side.
Right, like the storytelling, the emotional impact, stuff that really connects with an audience. This could be huge for independent creators and small teams.
I'm starting to see why people are so excited about DeepSeek. It's like a Swiss Army knife of productivity tools.
And we're not done yet. Remember how we talked about presentations? Well, the YouTuber also wanted to design some course posters, and they decided to use DeepSeek with another AI tool called Dream by Womubo.
Dream by Wombo. That's an AI image generation tool, right? I've seen some pretty cool stuff created with that.
Oh yeah, it's amazing what people are doing with AI art these days. But crafting the perfect prompts for these image generation tools can be tricky. So instead of trying to figure it out themselves, the YouTuber asked DeepSeek to create the prompts for Wombo.
Wow, that's thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
So DeepSeek was basically acting as a creative director, translating the YouTuber's vision into instructions for the AI artist.
Exactly. And you know what? It totally worked. DeepSeek came up with some super detailed prompts that led to some really unique and eye-catching poster designs.
It's like having a personal AI art director on call.
Right. Okay, last but not least, let's talk about something that's near and dear to my heart, personalized schedules. Everyone wants that perfect study plan or workout routine, but creating one that actually works for you can be tough.
Oh, I hear you. There are tons of generic schedules out there, but finding one that fits your specific needs and goals is another story.
Well, the YouTuber tackled this challenge head-on by using DeepSeek to create a personalized study plan for the English proficiency exam, the CET-6. They gave DeepSeek all the details, their goals, their weaknesses, and they asked for the schedule in a very specific format,
What kind of format?
an ICS calendar file, so they could easily import it into their favorite calendar app.
Now that's clever. That's taken personalization to a whole new level.
And once again, DeepSeek delivered. It generated the ICS code that could be converted into a calendar file with all the details, daily tasks, study materials, reminders, the works.
It's like having a personal tutor crafting a study plan just for you, taking into account your individual strengths and weaknesses.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg.
It really makes you wonder what other amazing things you could do with this tool.
So we've seen DeepSeek tackle mind maps, presentations, video editing, visual content creation, even personalized schedules.
Pretty impressive for one AI, and it really highlights how versatile DeepSeek is.
But there's more to the story. The YouTuber didn't just showcase these incredible applications, they also dug into what makes DeepSeek so special, its reasoning capabilities. And that's what we're going to explore in the next part of our deep dives.
It really does make you appreciate the power of AI when you see it applied in such practical and creative ways. It's really mind-blowing, isn't it? I mean, we've all had those moments where we just feel stuck, like we're hitting a wall with a task. Imagine having this AI that could just step in and help you break through those barriers, generate new ideas. It's pretty amazing.
It is. And like we mentioned, DeepSeek is different from a lot of other AI tools out there. It's not just about automating tasks or mimicking human conversation. It's about actually being able to reason, which is, I think, what makes it so powerful.
Yeah, that's a really important point. A lot of the AI we see these days is focused on sounding human-like or giving quick responses to simple questions. But DeepSeek goes deeper. It can actually analyze information, understand context, and come up with solutions that are logical and actually make sense for that specific situation.
Right. It's not just about mimicking, it's about actual thinking. And the YouTuber did a really great job of illustrating this by giving DeepSeek and a more typical conversational AI a math problem to solve. The conversational AI just spit out the answer. No explanation, nothing.
Yeah, okay, sometimes you just need the answer, but it doesn't really help you understand the process, right?
Exactly. But DeepSeek, on the other hand, broke the problem down step by step, showing how it arrived at the solution.
So it's like having a tutor that walks you through the thought process so you can actually learn from it. That's
Yeah.
a huge difference.
Right. And they also gave them a more real-world scenario, choosing an electric vehicle.
Yeah.
They told both AIs that they wanted an electric car, but had a limited budget. What do you think the conversational AI did?
I'm going to guess it just recommended some popular models without really considering the budget, like it didn't even register that important piece of information.
Yeah. It completely missed that crucial detail. DeepSeek, though, recognized the potential conflict right away. It actually pointed out that the budget might be an issue and even suggested exploring more affordable options, maybe looking at a used vehicle.
So it was actually trying to be helpful, not just throwing out random suggestions. That's impressive. It's like it understood the user's situation.
And this ability to reason, that's what makes DeepSeek so powerful for all the tasks we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
It's not just generating random content, it's generating content that makes sense, that's relevant to your goals, tailored to your specific needs.
It's like having a partner, someone who can anticipate your needs, offer suggestions, help you see things from a different perspective. It goes beyond just a productivity tool. It's almost like a creative collaborator.
Okay, so we've seen DeepSeek in action. We've talked about its reasoning abilities. Now, the question is, how do you actually use this thing? Well, the YouTubers shared some really practical tips on how to get the most out of DeepSeek. And it all comes down to making sure DeepSeek understands what you want.
Because at the end of the day, it's still a tool, right? Even the most advanced AI, you need to know how to use it effectively to get the results you're looking for.
Exactly. So the first tip is to keep your prompts simple and direct. You don't need to use fancy language or try to be clever. Just tell DeepSeek what you need in a clear, concise way.
Right, think of it like giving instructions to a friend. The simpler the instructions, the less room for misunderstanding.
Exactly. And the second tip, provide context. The more information you give DeepSeek about your goals, your constraints, your target audience, the better it will understand what you're trying to achieve. Like that super detailed prompt we talked about earlier with the research paper.
It's like giving DeepSeek a map so it knows where you want to go.
Yes. And finally, and I think this is the most important tip, trust the model's reasoning process. Don't try to micromanage or over-direct DeepSeek. Let it do its thing. It has that three-tiered thinking process we talked about, which lets it analyze information, generate solutions, even make connections across different domains. So let it work its magic.
It's about letting go of the need to control every little detail and trusting that the AI can actually help you create something even better than you could on your own.
Embracing that collaboration. Now, in the final part of our deep dive, we're going to delve into that three-tiered thinking process a little bit deeper and explore how it unlocks all those incredible creative possibilities. Stay tuned. Welcome back. So we've seen DeepSeek in action tackling all these really complex tasks. We've talked about its amazing reasoning abilities. But now I'm really curious, how does it actually work? What's going on behind the scenes?
Well, the YouTuber gave us a little peek under the hood, so to speak, with their explanation of DeepSeek's three-tiered thinking process. And it's really fascinating, seeing how it goes beyond just following instructions and actually starts to think like a human would.
Okay, so break it down for us. What are these three tiers?
All right, so the first tier is all about critical analysis. Imagine you give DeepSeek a task, like writing a blog post outline or coming up with ideas for a social media campaign. The first thing it does is analyze the information you've provided, kind of like a detective examining clues at a crime scene. Looking for keywords, understanding the context, really trying to figure out what you're actually asking for.
So it's not just blindly following orders. It's taking the time to understand the task at hand. That's pretty cool.
Exactly. That's what sets it apart from, simpler AI that just spits out generic responses. DeepSeek is actually trying to grasp those nuances in your request.
Okay, that makes sense. So what happens next? What's the second tier?
All right, so the second tier is called reverse deduction, and this is where things get really interesting. Instead of just brainstorming random ideas, DeepSeek actually starts working backwards from the desired outcome. It's like a chess player thinking several moves ahead, anticipating the consequences of each decision.
So it's like figuring out the steps needed to achieve the goal you've set for it.
Yes, exactly. It's creating a roadmap, so to speak, making sure that each step logically leads to that final destination.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. All right, so we've got critical analysis, reverse deduction. What about the third and final tier?
Okay, well, this is where DeepSeek really shines, I think. The third tier is all about cross-domain transfer. Remember how we talked about DeepSeek being trained on this massive data set? Well, this is where that vast knowledge base really comes into play. DeepSeek can connect concepts from different domains, drawing on its knowledge of history, science, literature, pop culture, anything you can think of.
So it's not limited by the boundaries of just a single field. It can actually combine ideas from all these different areas to come up with something new.
Yes. And that's how it can generate these creative solutions that you might not have thought of on your own. It's like having a brainstorming partner who has access to the entire internet's worth of knowledge and can make connections you might never have even seen.
That's incredible. So these three tiers, critical analysis, reverse deduction, and cross-domain transfer, they're what give DeepSeek that reasoning power we've been talking about.
Exactly. It's that combination of analytical thinking, strategic planning, and creative synthesis that allows it to tackle these complex tasks and really come up with these innovative solutions.
It's like DeepSeek is taking the best of human intelligence, our ability to analyze, strategize, connect the dots, and it's amplifying it with the power of AI.
Yeah, and that's what I find so exciting about this technology. It's not about replacing human intelligence. It's about augmenting it, expanding our capabilities, and helping us achieve things we never thought possible.
Well said. I think the biggest takeaway from all of this is that DeepSeek is so much more than just a simple productivity tool. It's a partner in creativity, a catalyst for innovation.
Yeah.
It really gives us a glimpse into what the future of human and AI collaboration could look like. So what do you say? Ready to give DeepSeek a try and see what you can create.
Absolutely. I think it's an exciting time to be exploring the world of AI, and DeepSeek is definitely a tool I think everyone should be paying attention to. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. It's been a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. And thanks all of you for listening. We'll see you next time for another deep dive into the world of AI.